Hi friends, hope all is well. Today me and my beautiful friend have swapped styles and we are basically transforming each other into each other. So introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi guys, my name is Pepper and I am a Bronx-based makeup artist. I'm really excited to be transformed by Ariiiiiiiiii today. We did this sherbet little summertime fine moment on my channel, so please check that out and subscribe.
So for today's transformation, we're gonna be having a bit of a star moment because that's what she is. So if you want to see us create magic, then keep on watching. So first things first, we gotta have the body glow match the face glow. So I'm gonna be jumping in with the Ofra. Don't be mad at me, but it's discontinued, so that's why I don't really like hyping it up. But I have a body lotion that basically adds a little bit of color, but it adds glow at the same time. So I always start off with this as a base, just because I want to know what I'm matching the face to, because sometimes this can add a little color and make the body look a shade darker than the face.
The golden moment.
Personally, I really like everything to match. If you aren't really into the body glow, you don't have to do this step, but for me,
we into it.
Yes.
Into the glow too. And you just use, like you said, a lotion?
This is like a moisturizer. You don't really leave like that sticky, like, because you know a lot of these kind of tanners or whatever always leave some kind of residue or leave you sticky or something. This dries down to your skin, so you can put this all over the body like as regular lotion. So as it's still drying, to be honest with you, when my shimmer spray is empty, I just throw in more setting spray and more pigment. So I don't really even know what's in here. It's just a shimmery concoction basically. I just spray all over the body before we start.
Smells good.
Because then I'm going in with more highlighter. So for body glow, I love the Mitchell Subzero palette. I use Body Yaddy Yaddy for the contours of the body, and then I use all the other ones pretty much to highlight the other areas. I always go for the collarbones just because I love when those are accentuated. A lot of people don't like that look though because they feel like it makes them look skinny. I get it, but I don't care. I'm here for it.
This is intense. Look at that freaking glow. Wow.
I always do the shoulder because the shoulder is, you know, the cheekbone of the body.
What was in the movie House Bunny? She was like, the eyes are the nipples of the face.
Exactly. This is, oh, me too, when she does the voice to remember names. Here, I apply the dark shade to holler her out more.
Ooh.
So I'm contouring with like a shimmer instead of a matte. So now she's extra, you know. So, just cause, I'm gonna spray one more time. And I'm gonna take one more setting spray.
That smells nice.
Alright guys, so to get into brows, she has a really nice shape so far, so I don't really want to thicken or anything. I'm just gonna really run the pencil in and just see where it takes me. I haven't really been into structured brows as of lately because I don't want that to be my focus point. To me, eyeshadow is just more important. Again, as of lately, I really just focus on my base and my shadows. The blend could do its own thing.
I see why people fall asleep while doing makeup sometimes. This is relaxing. And you have like nails, you're just like brushing against me.
So for base, I always go in with my Plouise in shade 2. Because we're doing pink shadow, I'm not really gonna focus shade 2 on the lip. I'm only gonna focus it underneath the brow just to carve it.
So you use the Plouise base to shape the brows?
Yes. If I don't have a colored base to suit the desired look I'm going for, I go in with nude all over. But because I do have a pink one, I'm only focusing it under here. Because I don't want my pink base to be that high. I want to control the ombre or gradient with shadows.
When you're too young to get your brows done and you still want to do it and you decide you're going to be your own brow lady and then you do it and then you end up with half a brow.
Yeah.
That was me.
One time I thought the lady asked me, I thought she said, you want them thick? So I said, yeah. When we were done, they were so thin. I was so mad. She meant thin. I was so upset. It was a week before my Sweet 16. I was like, oh my god.
And I feel for prom, the lady that did my hair, like bleached it too light, and then I wanted soft curls and she needed like crunchy curls.
Oh my god.
It was a lot.
We already completed this one. I just really comb them in the natural direction that they grow, just to see what we're working with. So as you can see, she already has a nice shape. I'm really just gonna add some length to them. I always start with my MAC Spike pencil, which is super thin, and I just follow her natural, basically the base of her brow, which is just the bottom. I follow that line so I know basically where it's gonna end. I don't really have a determining factor in terms of how far I bring my brow. I don't really love a long brow. She has a nice arch as well, so I'm not really having to draw on an arch completely from scratch. I'm really just following what she has already. And now I'm just gonna take some Plouise base in shade 2 and just clean up under here. So now I'm just taking a super flat brush like this, just to really carve out her brow.
We love a good carving.
As of lately, I haven't really been caring to give brows this much time, but because she has a really nice brow, I knew that that is the achieved look I wanted to go for today. So for base, I always use shade 2 because I like my base to be brightening. I don't want it to be the exact same color as her lid because then it won't really allow the shadows to pop. So I always bring the base all the way down in this region. And I also always kind of put it in her inner corner kind of nose area because shadow always naturally goes in there. So I pretty much fill this whole area and leave the lid blank because we are going to put the colored base right in the center. For my next base, I'm gonna go in with Poppin Pink, and I'm literally, like I said, gonna focus that on the lid area. So as you can see, she has amazing lid space. So don't worry too much about pink getting too in here because now we're gonna go back in with our first shade base and kind of blend that edge just before we start the shadow work, because if we set the bases like that, it'll stay like that. So now that the base is pretty much on, today I'm pretty much going to be using Pep Talk, Funky, and In Lust just to balance between the three. One more time before we jump in with shadows, I'm just going to run the brush through so there's no creasing, because if you set your shadow with creases, the creases will remain there. So no matter what you do, they'll be there. I'm jumping into my favorite M506, which is the best, and I'm just packing with that first deep pink all over the lid. So the reason I don't set my base is because my eyeshadows are doing that for me. If I were to set that pink base before I jump in with this shadow would not be coming off like this. Personally, I go brows, eyes, skin, lips. Very weird order. What about you?
I feel like it depends on what, say if I know what I'm gonna do on the eyes already, because if I know I'm gonna use certain products that are not gonna give fallout, then I'll do face first. But then if I feel like the eyes are gonna be the main focus, it's gonna have a lot of pigments and glitters and things like that, then I will do eyes first.
A lot of people get scared by doing face first.
Yeah, it's intimidating. I didn't start off that way. Actually, the same method you're doing now is what I used to do all the time. I did brows, then I would do eyes, then face, then lips. Lips I still always do next.
So now that we've blended out with In Lust, I'm gonna jump in with a little bit of In Lust and Funky. So I mix for the next shade. I don't blend like a typical, like the traditional way. I start reverse. So I start with my darkest shade, which was In Lust, and then I blend upward. If you're more comfortable the other way, you would just start with the lighter shades and work up.
I've never done that before.
So I'm not gonna jump in with this shade right here all the way up here. I'm gonna put it on the edge of the first pink. Keep in mind when blending, you don't have to be so pure when you hold the brush. It doesn't have to be, because now you're limiting your mobility. When you're down here, you're able to like flick your entire wrist. What do you listen to?
My favorite artist, her name is Melanie Martinez. She's amazing. So much. I have 2 tattoos dedicated to her, and I really like Janae Aiko. I love hip hop as well. Honestly, I feel like I'm open-minded to everything but country. Country just hasn't slapped for me. I like to listen to different artists. I'm trying to get into more smaller artists than such big names, but I love music. I have to listen to it, especially if I can listen to it while I'm doing my makeup. I always will choose to if I can. I was telling you earlier, like when I was little, I would just leave MTV on all day, and then MTV started being about reality TV. So
that used to be the best when you were getting ready for school. They would have the playlist going on. don't know, I am very cohesive in terms of if I'm doing a pink look, I want my highlight to be pink. So that's just how I work. For underbrow and inner corner highlight, I'm gonna go in with Pink Me, which is like an iridescent pink highlight color. I'm gonna go right under the brow, right here, like that. Then I'm gonna top it with the Peaches pigment in Fantasy.
With these pigments, do you just go straight in or with your brush?
I go straight in. What did you feel you took out of MAC?
Honestly speaking, I took more skill because I was able to talk to the other artists there and really pick up a few other things that I didn't know yet, artist-wise. My clients, I mean, some of my main girls I met from there, it wasn't always rainbows and butterflies at the counter, but I feel like I definitely, at all of my jobs, try to take away, you know, something from it. Kind of like include it into either my next move or just like life in general, you know? So it was definitely an experience. But I mean, I think that when I went into it, I was expecting a lot more than what I got out of it.
I agree.
Still.
For those that don't know, I do work at MAC. I think MAC is a great brand, a great company. It does a lot of great things. How about you? Do you feel like your experience was similar?
Yeah, I definitely went in really eager to just like showcase my artistry, and then you realize that they have a vision for you. They kind of want you to be a certain way. Like you said, it's just more about selling than actual makeup artistry, and they're supposed to be one of the only brands to not do that. Like other brands like really focus, for example with Sephora and things like that, apparently like they focus more on, you know, customer service and things of that nature, and of course that is important, but that is common sense. If I'm going in for this job, I gotta know how to deal with people, of course, and love it. But I definitely thought that I was gonna be able to express my artistry more. There were definitely cases where I was held back, and eventually started making it just feel like a job rather than what I was anticipating when I went in. The day we met, literally, like, you know, a lot of the girls that were there, and that I've experienced different groups because usually they send you with different groups with those type of events, but that group there just, I don't know, everybody kind of almost worked in the same location and just isolated us.
We were the only two to sit together, so that's a sign. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I feel that a lot of my mentality before I started this job was, oh my god, this is an all-girl group. Women are very catty. The makeup community is very catty. It's very drama-friendly. So I definitely did not expect it to be, I guess, this drama-free, so that's good. It still could be better. We're just gonna clean up any fallout on the skin. To be honest, I'm gonna leave all of this here for now because I want heavily blushed cheeks. So that's gonna go right into there. This is my Mayron Skin Prep Pro. So this was designed for theatrical makeup, so it's meant to hold more coverage, sweat, oil, tears, basically. So this is half toner, half primer.
I need this.
Yes. As I apply it, you're gonna feel it tighten on the skin a little bit, but that's basically just to hold everything back.
Oh my goodness, so if you have like oily skin?
Yes, so no touch-ups, no nothing. So this literally applies as a toner. So it's cleansing as it's gonna tighten. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, before this I was using Milk of Magnesia. That's what I heard was great. I heard throughout time it's not good for the skin.
Yes.
So I left that alone. I bought this. I went to Florida in September. We went to Disney dressed up in full, I went as Ursula, so I had full face paint on. This held back my sweat, everything in Florida heat. For foundation today, I mixed Huda Beauty and Juvia's Place foundation. I'm gonna take a flat brush and literally apply it straight onto the skin before we pat it in. And I'm just taking my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and just pushing it into the skin because we really want that coverage to stay heavy. Gotta bring it down because you know the face gotta match the neck. For contour, I always start with a cream, so I always go with the two darkest shades. Always cheekbone region, but try not to fall exactly on her cheekbone because when you blend out product, it always naturally goes a little lower. So we don't want her cheekbone to be under where it actually is. Forehead, always.
Well, I have a question for you. What was your worst experience with a client? Because people be thinking sometimes we don't go through nothing and we just doing all this glamorous shit
That's a great
everything,
question.
but we be going through it, guys.
My worst experience was probably, I don't know, I was there maybe 2 weeks at MAC. I had started end of April, so I was working May and June, which is prom season if you aren't aware. A woman comes in with her daughter and she states that the year prior she had gotten her makeup done at the store and wanted the exact same beat. So she shows a picture and wanted the exact same look that she had a year ago. And what's funny is the artist who did her makeup was right next to me. I asked the girl what product she used, blah blah blah. I pretty much, to the best of my ability, copied and pasted this version. The girl herself was happy. Her mom comes in, very nasty. Who did this? Who did this? Who did this? Who did this? This is terrible. Who did this? Who did this? In front of the entire store. So that is humiliating. I'm on my like maybe 3rd or 4th shift ever, so I'm like kind of shitting my pants because I'm like, this is humiliating. All her friends are watching, everybody's in there. She ended up taking it off and having the original makeup artist do it, as she should have from the beginning. I don't really take fault for that one because
if you knew the girl that did it was there, why didn't you just book with her?
How about you? What was your worst experience?
Yeah, it was also at MAC. I have one at home and then I have one at MAC.
Okay.
My one at home, my homegirl, I mean, we're still really good friends to this day, but it was just like, how could you do me like this? I did her like birthday makeup, and this was years ago. She basically wiped all of it off except for the eyes at the end. She wasn't a makeup wearer much either, so it was like, I guess the style that I had done was too much for her, but she liked the eyes, so she kept the eyes. But I was just like, dang. Whenever somebody takes a wipe to your work and it's not you, you feel it. It doesn't matter.
Even when we did a good job and it's the night's over and you're wiping it off, we're sad for you.
I learned from that for sure. My fault is maybe investigating. Like, I think I needed to ask more questions, and that's what I learned from that. Now I ask sometimes too many questions, but I'd rather know than
that was my issue when I started with MAC as well. I started getting feedback that was like, you know, don't take it personal, but maybe you're not asking enough questions.
Yeah.
My issue with work was separating Ariana MUA to Ariana Padro that works at MAC. You know, like at work I had to be able to use a little bit of products. I don't really use MAC, so that was very difficult for me to completely teach myself a whole new kit.
I started developing more of like learning about their products when I worked for them and stuff like that. But I've told you before, I didn't feel that comfort into going into MAC confidently, going into there and asking questions. Like, I never had that experience, so for me it was like very easy for me not to wear it because I just had no reason, and I didn't know products either. So it wasn't until that I was a beauty advisor at Macy's, that's why I started. I was just a flex position, and I would just watch the MAC girls there pretty much every weekend have makeovers and stuff, and I just wanted that so bad. And then eventually I was able to train with them in a sense. Got the position finally. Ooh, look at that snatched eye. It took time. I didn't like grow up loving MAC.
Somebody told me something that's true. They said that if, as a girl, you don't really use MAC in your kit, when you first start doing makeup, you never really go to MAC. Because I find a lot of our customers are loyal.
I didn't use it until I worked there.
There are a lot of women who come in that's like, I've been using the same lipstick for 10 years. Like, I feel like a lot of people who use MAC are very loyal.
And they definitely have people that trust what they can provide with certain products, but they're not the brand anymore that is supplying the new shit.
No, they are too late in my opinion.
Like, I agree. I feel like they definitely have the capability to provide the product that we could want, but they don't listen to their customer, I don't think. The things that I did love about working for the brand was how much they were willing to educate us on the brand. I really enjoy learning.
That is really fun.
I think that's what made me like the brand, was because I was able to learn about its history. So I really love that.
For highlighting today, we went in the chin, cupid's bow, nose, forehead, and the under eye. Personally, I like a really brightened under eye, so I always go for a light shade of concealer. Also, since we went a little darker in foundation, we need to neutralize that.
Do you bake?
I don't really bake anymore. I used to bake. I used to live by that, but I found that I was going through powder really fast. It was a waste of powder in my opinion, because every time I wear makeup I need powder. I used to go really heavy. Now I find that I really only like to use liquids on the skin, and then I go in with creams and stuff like that, but I only set certain areas, not the entire face. Powders I'm always open to trying, because powders you always need. And as long as it works right, I don't really care what kind of powder it is. This is one of the few MAC products I do use. Our Studio Fix powder is my favorite, so I just kind of run it randomly. So for bronzers, I always use two. Much like blending on the eye, I kind of like to have my crease shade, which will be the darkest contour, and I kind of have my transition / blending shade to go more into the blush. So I always start with the darkest way up here and just press it in, because personally I love a contour.
Snatched.
For blush, I'm going to be taking the Danessa Myricks Vivid palette. I'm trying this for the first time. I'm very excited. I'm going to be going in with this middle pink. Usually when I do a blush product, I start it up here because we want that to go into the shadow. We want it to be a unit. To me, for blush, it's always easier to kind of go darkest up here to light down here, because then you don't really have anything to blend into the nice under eye area, and you don't want that area to be pink. So back into the shadows we used earlier, I'm going to be jumping between the same 3 shades and using those as blush as well, just to set that on top. So there's not that much product on my brush, but I'm just kind of bringing her shadow just more pulled back in this direction. Funny thing is, I used to hate blush. Hate. I used to never wear it. I would be like, ugh, that's so... To me, I looked at it like, what is the point of you putting rosy cheeks if you're trying to cover your natural rosiness? That's how I felt. So I hated blush. So literally what I'm doing right now, I'm gonna go in with In Lust with the same brush that I set the under eyes with, because now that we need a fluffier blend, we are good. I'm literally jumping in with In Lust, and we're literally gonna just bring the color out naturally. Wherever it takes us is where it's gonna go.
So funny thing is, like, so my Instagram name is Perfected by Pepper, right? But like, I truly don't believe in anything that's perfect. I think that's why I kind of did the name in general, because it's kind of like we are all our own versions of perfect. Honestly, I never found it more interesting than the fact that everyone looks different.
Right.
Like literally everyone looks so different. Regardless if you're a twin or not, like you still have difference.
I always go in with blush on the tip of the nose. Just adds to the look. I love brow gel, so this is the MAC Pro Longwear Waterproof Brow Set. I just go right in, because sometimes powder gets on the hairs, lightens them. So I'm going to take another Peaches Pigment in Pink Panther, and over blush, these are sickening, because personally I love a shimmer in the blush.
Which liner do you use for liquids? What do you like?
I love Covergirl, and then I get the matte black.
The rare occasion that I do a liquid liner, because I feel like it's more intimidating. I usually use like a gel.
That to me is always more scary than a liquid. A gel with a brush.
Yeah, I feel like I have more control over it.
So just to finish up the eye, I'm going to take the same shadows that were on the top. We're going to apply them really thin on the bottom, because we have a lot of blush here. I don't want to bring my bottom shadow too down. I do want this to still remain highlighted in here.
Yeah, when I first started doing eyeshadow, I never closed out the eye look. I only did eyeshadow on my lid.
Personally, I don't really like to bring it that low on the bottom. Like some artists can bring it all the way. Like I don't. Because me personally, my favorite part of my face is my really concealed eyelids. For liner in the lash line, I love the Plouise X MMM Mitchell, the cosmetic paints, not the bases. The bases don't set these set completely. I love for my inner corner and my underbrow to just really be popping. That's one thing about me. Highlight, I always make extra, especially on the brow bone and the inner corner, just because I really like that. So I always try to match it to the color scheme that I'm working with. So for highlight today, I'm going to be mixing Artist Couture, which is like a rose gold. This is Broadway.
Ooh.
And I'm going to be mixing it with Mysterious Cosmetics in Twilight, which is very similar to the Fantasy Pigment. It's just a bit more glittery, I think. I've been into loose highlighters lately because it gives me that shimmery, glittery look that I like.
Ka-chow.
I'm gonna apply it in the area that's comfortable for you to open. I don't know, I just love rhinestones and just the whole everything.
Yeah, me too. Gives it like texture.
Just extra. It's just adds something that makeup can't give you, I think, that I like.
It's like decorating yourself. So do you usually like pack your kit according to what you're gonna need, or you carry everything?
I always pack just what I need. Just because I know I used to overpack. Just out of like habit. Because I was always like, it's better to have over than under, but it hurts your shoulder. Our light alone is heavy, our bag, our camera. Like, it's a lot of stuff that people don't think that we
have to carry alone,
Yes, I like this a lot. So who do you look for inspiration? Who's like your biggest makeup inspiration? Whose page do you find yourself going to, or who do you watch?
Honestly, I mean, I feel like lately I've been pretty good with feeling inspired, and I think it just has to do with my mind and my mental health being in a positive place in my life right now. I feel like when I'm looking for more inspiration, it's when I'm kind of like in what I call a drought, where I'm kind of like thirsty for.
We all go through those.
Yeah, where I'm like, dang, I don't know at all what I'm trying to do. So I'll just scroll through either Instagram. I try to catch someone. I can't say that there's a particular exact person that I go for. Just because, listen, like I get inspired by the girls that I know, I get inspired by food, nature, and I have most of my like makeup ideas and epiphanies. Just slapped right.
You guys can't see me, but look where the rhinestones is.
It just slapped up there. Now I'm painting, guys, so I have been doing some paintings. These are just...
Look how cute, these are freehand.
Yes. This is my friend Amber and her cats, and then this is actually a makeup look that I've done on her. So I'm trying to yes, it's going all the way into her hair, and her cat is touching the other one.
I'm living.
So I either get inspired by doing like paintings or having my makeup looks on the paintings itself.
So I'm gonna go in with this pink right here. I'm just gonna take a semi fluffy brush, not too big, and just going directly in, and we're gonna go right on the neck.
Whoa, that's so pigmented.
And these are just grease paints.
Nice.
I literally set them with translucent powder. I don't go that crazy.
Nice.
Creams like this are super easy too, because I literally just blended that into the body glow like nothing, because it's a cream.
Yeah, if you did this with a powder, you would be here for 10 years. It made my neck look longer too.
This is where the artist Milk. He does a lot of face charts.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him. So good.
Hopefully he reposts this.
Ooh, oh my god, I'd be honored.
So I'm just bringing this pink up to her collarbones. I don't want to go under that, because we want the glow to still have its moment. So I'm just finishing up some random stars on the neck. I'm not really counting. I'm not really doing like any pink to black ratio. I'm just kind of going. I'm just gonna take some MAC lip primer. I always like this for clients just because lips are always a little difficult for me on other people. I don't know why. So this just allows the lip liner and everything to just make my life easier pretty much.
And I still feel very absorbed from that primer, so I really gonna buy that.
I really recommend this, seriously, it's really good. So we're doing the top lip black and the bottom lip pink. So I'm gonna go in with just a regular black liner.
Guys, a tip when you're getting your makeup done and you're getting your lips done, don't look into the artist's eyes.
Please.
Don't do it. We feel it.
Oh, I appreciate you. We wanted to stare into our soul, but I'm like...
Because first of all, you're going to make me laugh, and that's going to make you laugh. And then we're going to be laughing while we're doing lips, and we don't need to do that. These lashes are from the Pink Shop CC, guys. It's a Latina-owned business. Support my girl Cynthia.
This is in the style Butterfly. They're beautiful. They're a nice fluffy lash, which is perfect for this type of beat. These are the type of lashes I love to use when there's like inches.
Wow. Am I from Earth? I don't think so.
For final touches, to ensure that this slay is gonna last all day.
I'll wake up in the morning, my boyfriend's gonna be like...
I'm gonna set her with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and this is in the peach, so this is the summer collection.
It smells so good. I love peaches.
And literally, we're just gonna set the whole area, body as well, neck as well. Are you feeling it?
I love it.
Alright guys, so this is the completed look. Thank you guys for sitting here and talking shit with us. I hope you can take something out of this process. I hope you find something new. I hope you guys enjoyed this look and I hope you find something helpful. You'll definitely be seeing us collaborating again.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on your channel, and I'm really happy. I am in love with this look. Like, honestly, like I love edgy looks. I love looks that I just feel like I'm not even human, and that's how I feel right now. I feel like a freaking Bratz doll mixed with intergalactic, mixed with like, you know, like I love it. Like I really do love it. And please like, comment, subscribe, guys.
And don't forget to watch her transformation.
Yes, on my page.
Channel.
Yes, Perfected by Pepper. We here, baby.
I will see you guys in the next one.